So the way we do this is in alphabetical order, on the last name. So Anita will get to go first. And she's going to have 5 minutes. And then make her case, why her? And then Dilip will get up, and he'll have 5 minutes. And then we're going to go right into questions. They have 2 minutes each. We're going to rotate back and forth as to who starts, and we keep doing that the whole night, okay? So just so you understand the process and the way it's done, nobody's going to get stuck going first the whole time. That's not right, okay? So, are you ready, Zane? Okay. Anita Gupta.
Watch me. I'll give you your time. Well, you're counting down in 5 minutes. Okay. When you get down to 1 minute, I will flash you. Keep flashing to you when time's up.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll know.
Thank you, Tom, for hosting us this evening and giving us a chance to meet all our neighbors and to be able to express our views on all the issues that we'll be talking tonight. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Lovely to see you all. I see many familiar faces, many new, but lovely to see you all regardless. My name is Anita Gupta. I am a wife, a mother, a neighbor, a business entrepreneur, and a business executive. I'm running for the city council to serve the community. About a few months ago, I was just a normal citizen, just like you all. I still am a normal citizen, and I will remain a concerned citizen always. My husband Umesh and I have been married for 34 years. We have called John Street our home for the last 30 years. This is where both our children were born and raised. They both attended the Fulton County School System in John Street, and they went on to join Georgia Tech for their college degrees. I hold a master's degree in economics. I also hold a degree in computer information system and a 3 years education in law. My husband Umesh and I own a technology company since last 30 years, and I'm also a full-time real estate professional helping residential home buyers. The serving the community has always been my top priority. I always felt a very strong sense of civic duty, and that is why I have been volunteering all my life at the grassroots level, at schools, at various charity foundations, also including the animal rescue. About the services that I am doing. My next chapter in my community service is to serve the city council, to represent you and your interest. That is why I'm running for the city council. I'm running for the council because I'm a concerned citizen. Because of my concern, I realize that our city is at a very critical juncture. And I think it's about the time that we need a change and bring the city back to where it should have been. Few of our elected officials have lost their direction and way in representing us at the council. That's why it's about the time we have to change that and bring the citizen first approach. Now the citizen first approach is very simple. By fully funding public safety, by making sure that every dollar in these plots gets spent on the transportation projects, and also by providing the funding for lots of capital projects that are sitting and waiting for the funding those that actually get finished. Besides these three things, let me just go back a little bit. The reason we are living in this John Street, because we love the city. It is number one because of the great schools and the quality of life it offers. But we have to make sure that we continue the same path and we do not lose track and do not rest on our old laurels. We have, few months ago, actually few months ago, when I started looking at the city council meetings, I realized that our money has been wasted on a lot of wasteful spending. So I figured that I will jump to the solution, jump to the system and be part of the solution. We have the bond coming up, which is going to be, we will be voting on it. And if passed, we will be adding 40 million bond taxes, 40 million debts to our city and taxes on us. And we also have, the next 4 years will be very important on the growth and development. And we have a new battery coming up. And we do not have a plan to fund for any additional police resources to keep it safe and secure. So that is why I want to make sure that I'm in the council, all these things are addressed. And when I'm promoted to when I'm elected to that position, I'll ensure that all these things are taken priorities. And from the day one, I'm going to start working towards helping the city. And today, I ask you for your vote, and I'm ready to answer your questions. Thank you.
Okay, no applause, thank you. Dilip, go, take it away.
Good evening, friends and neighbors. It's always a pleasure to be here. Johns Creek, a community known for safe schools, strong schools, safe streets, and quality of life. That's exactly what I've been working on. Protect and strengthen as your Mayor Pro Tem and Johns Creek City Councilman. My name is Dilip Tunki. My family and I have been Johns Creek residents for 25 years. Little background on myself. I have a bachelor's degree in civil engineering, master's in environmental engineering, and an MBA in finance from Georgia State University. My professional career spans over 30 years. Engineering, business, and real estate. This combination helped me look at more like managing the budget and strategic thinking. So even before I got on the city council, I served the committee for over 10 years, over a decade, serving on city committees, non-profit boards, and community initiatives. This involvement, hands-on experience, gave me a deep understanding of the needs of the city and the residents, and helped me make the right decisions on the city council. So back in 2021, when I got elected, I made a commitment: save Johns Creek, and financially strong and responsible, and future ready. So here is what we got done in the last 4 years. Public safety. We are the safest city in the country and lowest crime rate in the state. So we always supported training and technology for the officers to make sure that they have the tools to do the effective and efficient job. Neighborhood safety is our top priority. We always look at that. And the financials. We have been strongest ever on the financials. I always supported the balanced budget, rollback, and our taxes are the lowest in the county, in the Fulton County. And we are still able to get the new amenities done without raising taxes. Parks. We opened a new park, one of the biggest in the region, Calling Creek Park. And another one, Boardwalk at Townsend. It's in the play. It's going to be done in the summer. So, and again we added the maker space and the robotics. That is for the students, innovators, and business startups. And coming to the community, we were able to improve the intersections and then repair the road, and then basically adding the sidewalks and trails for the connectivity. So more importantly, we increase the transparency. So where residents can come back and see exactly how the government policies are done. So recognition. We have recognized #1 city to live in the country. It's not by chance. It's because of the active community. Community is involved in making the decisions, like again, policy making. They always have input from them. And constructive feedback that helps us moving forward. Again, we are not done. We need to strengthen the public safety, then support the balanced growth, smart and balanced growth. And transportation and mobility, we need to work on that too. So one thing for sure, we need to address both seniors and the next generation to make sure they are prepared for the future. Today I am here to hear your concerns, share my vision, and at the same time showing that why I am the right choice to serve on the city council. Again, thank you for your trust, support, and helping me work on the city council for the city we love, John Creek. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, audience, for being here. It's a great one. Thank you.
Stay right there. Stay right there. Ladies and gentlemen, last time I'm going to tell you, no applause. I'll tell you when. Okay? We're looking for some decorum, and you're part of that. Okay? We want to hear what they have to say, and then you'll react later. It's not the Jerry Springer show, I promise. Dilip, you're up first.
Yes, sir.
It's a public safety question. Johns Creek is often ranked as one of the safest cities in Georgia. However, growth and traffic bring new challenges. What will you do to ensure police, fire, and emergency services remain fully funded and prepared for the city's annual and future needs?
Thank you, Tom. Great question. As I mentioned before, our priority is the public safety. We funded it. In the last 4 years, our public safety budget has been increased by 36%. And we made sure that everything that's being asked in the tier 1 has been funded. And our response times are amazing. One of the best in the country. The police is at 1 minute, 1 second. 5 minutes, 24 seconds. It's not the data just made up. It's from the July 2025 data. So these are the best in the country. So we are making sure that we provide everything that's public safety, fire chief or police chief, anything they ask for. If you look at the budget, everything that's been asked in the tier 1 has been funded. There's a reason for things to be in the tier 2 and tier 3. So when the police chief is going to come back and say, hey, here's a need and I want to move these to the tier 1, we will fund those. So public safety is always on the top. So for the future, yes, like we already have those things rolled into the budget, and the police chief came back and said, okay, here are the things for the future. So we have a plan, and we are definitely going to fund as those things come into the tier 1 by either police chief or the fire chief. So we are on for that. Thank you.
Anita, would you like me to repeat that?
I think I got the question.
Okay.
Okay. So well, in last 20 years, ever since the inception of the city, we were 62,000 people. Now we are 85, almost 40% increase. But there is no additional forces added to the police squad. Also, we are now Medley coming up. We have added 900 homes, apartments and complex. It will bring 2,000 people extra. It will also bring a lot of activities in teenagers, which will bound to increase the crime rate. Additionally, we have 3 major requirements. In fact, the police chief had requested in this year's budget to meet the requirement for the Medley and increased population. They had requested to add 4 cadets and 4 cars. And they also had requested to replace 3 obsolete, outdated fire engines. And they also needed to replace some old, outdated equipments. They needed $5.4 million to replace all these things. But the request was denied. My esteemed opponent also voted to refuse for that $5.4 million funding. So how is that city safest? It may be safe now, but with the increased requirement coming up soon, if we don't fund them, if we haven't funded them for the 2026 budget, it takes about a year for the cadet to be ready, trained and ready. It takes about 8-9 months for the cars to be ready. It takes 5 years for the fire engine to be ready. The fire truck and fire engines, 4 and 5 years. So if we had not funded right now, when are we going to do that? As a city council, I'll make sure from the day one, I will start reducing the gap of $5 million that they need to fully fund the public safety. The day one, I will make sure that my top priority remains to protect the people of Johns Creek. And I will start working towards closing that gap of $5 million funding that is requested by the police chief. And that is given the top priority in my opinion. Thank you.
Stay right there. Okay, Anita. It's a development question. The land in Johns Creek is almost 90% developed, and we are running out of green spaces. What is the city doing to preserve green spaces? Why did the city allow Shake Rag green space to be converted for development?
Fantastic question, and very touchy one too. As you mentioned, city is already built out more than 90%. We only have few spaces, the green spaces left in the city. And our city is famous for the green spaces. That's what makes it number one. That's what makes it attractive. That's what makes it so desirable, and people move for that particular pastoral nature of the city. The Shake Rag area, which is supposed to be a pastoral area, there was a comprehensive plan which was implemented in 2018. It was supposed to be 1 acre, the requirement was minimum 1 acre per house. But the recently city council, few of the city council members voted, they violated the comprehensive plan for 2018, and they voted in favor of Toll Brothers for them to build the homes at half an acre lot, which is a complete violation of the comprehensive plan. It is absolutely not acceptable. As a city council, I will make sure that none of these things where we are required to keep the pastoral land and green spaces, that's what makes the Johns Creek so beautiful and attractive. It is very, very important to keep that nature, the pastoral nature, and keep the greenery of the city. And I will not allow any of those things to take place, and we will not violate any comprehensive plan. And keep it beautiful, green, desirable, and attractive. Thank you.
Dilip, would you like to repeat the question?
Yes, I got that. Thank you, Tom. Again, there is a reason the comprehensive plan was developed. With the citizens' input, the comp plan was developed, and there is like a different nodes and different areas they identified the density. So they came back and said, okay, if they say that 1 acre per house, they mean that. And that's what, like, as a city council elected people, that's what we follow. So if the calculation, if people are doing the calculation in a different way, again, if they think they know more than the comprehensive plan or more than the code, it's a different thing. But it is definitely, we followed the comprehensive plan, and we are sticking to that. Again, the green space, definitely. The Chattahoochee corridor, we are definitely protecting that. And recently we got a grant from the federal that we're going to come back and add the trail along the Chattahoochee River. So we are definitely focusing on preserving the green space and the balanced and smart growth. We'll make sure that we follow the comp plan and never deviate from that. So, because I have the time, I'm going to go back to the previous one. So, we are following the public safety. We are following the police chief and fire chief's guidelines. If anyone thinks that we know more than the police chief or the fire chief, that's not right. There is a reason they came back and said in the budget they put in the tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. Tier 1 is what we need in the next 1 year. Tier 2 is good to have it in the 2 to 3 years. And tier 3 is, it's good if we can have it. So that's exactly what we follow. And if police chief is going to come back and say we need it, we have $5.5 million surplus sitting in there, not assigned to any projects. We have it to fund it. So it doesn't have to come back and change the budget. So again, public safety is our priority, and it's always going to be. Thank you.
Stay right there, Dilip. Okay. This is a budget question. Since the budget relies on a planned 9% increase in local sales tax, this is according to whoever wrote this, right? And revenue, other neighboring cities budgeted less than a 1% growth. How will you ensure small, locally owned businesses continue to thrive when the construction of Medley not even open until November of 2026, encourages multi-location businesses not connected to our community.
Thank you, Tom. Johns Creek has a financial model that we've been using for a while, and it works. The variables work amazing. In 2022, we had a surplus of $11 million. 23, $8.5 million. And 24, $2 million. And this year, we're expecting at least $5.5 million. Which means, whatever we're planning, it's working. In 2014, yes, the lost expenses were underperformed. But the other revenue streams definitely made up. And we still came out surplus. So, the financial projections that we are doing is working. And we are seeing the surplus. If it's working, then why should we change it? Why should we look at the other cities and change our financial model? It's working, and it's proven that it's been there. And a bigger thing, the 9% is based on the budgeted number. Okay? So if we look at the actual, this year we don't have the September numbers yet, but as of August, we're already 500,000 more than what we budgeted last year. So if you look at that number, we're not even 7%. So financial models are working fine. Let's not even tweak them. We are getting the surplus. If one variable is off, another variable is making for that, and you can see in the last 4 years, every year we have surplus. So we need to have those projections in the right way so that we should not end up with a very high surplus. So I'm with that assumption, and I supported it, and I always support that. Thank you.
Would you like me to repeat that?
I believe I got the question. Well, let's talk about the 9% revenue, inflated revenue in this upcoming budget. All our neighboring cities, Sandy Spring, Roswell, Milton, they are very successful city as well, right? But when they wrote their new budget, they only showed the revenue, increased revenue by 0.6%, 0.8%, 0.9%. What we did, we inflated our revenue by 9%. I'm not sure what kind of genie would come and help increase the budget like that. He mentioned that we had some big 4 or 5 million extra collection in 22. Well, there was COVID. We collected a lot of money through PPP. There was probably contributed to that. But besides that, we did not have that kind of increment in the revenue. But this year, I believe the reason they had to inflate the revenue by 9% because they cut down the millage rate to show. And guess what? It's only a couple of months ago, before the election. I wonder why the millage rate was cut. But anyway, so now the millage rate is cut, so we'll have the less revenue. So how do we make up that deficiency in money? By inflating artificially the revenue. There's no way we will have a 9% increase revenue this year. To answer the second question, which was remained unanswered, and before that I will go, when the budget was being passed, my opponent supported that inflated 9% budget, which is a very unrealistic approach. If they had kept it, if they had received additional money, they could have used that to pay off debts that we have. So we have like 100 million debts in the city. We could have used that. But talking about Medley, when the new businesses come, we have to support the small businesses which are existing. They are the foundation of our society. And as a councilman, I will help them keep sustaining, and I will answer again in my next time because our time is up. Thank you.
Stay right there, Anita. Stormwater question, very important for this locale. Do you consider stormwater critical infrastructure? For example, like water, sewer, natural gas, electricity, fire, and police?
Absolutely. Stormwater is part of the infrastructure for sure, just like any other infrastructure thing. And we have been collecting the stormwater utility fees since 2021. And while door knocking to a lot of people, and also when they came to the Medlock Bridge to meet and greet, I was told that there were a lot of grievances. I know the Medlock Bridge is suffering, the lakes are collecting a lot of debris, and they are really they're having to pay a lot of money to keep that dredging the lakes. Also, when I was walking door to door, many residents told me that they are having issues with their backyard. It's pooling, it's flooding, it's sinking. So if we are collecting the stormwater fee and they are still having this problem, then I only can think of two things. The money is not being prioritizing and planning and being planned properly. I would plan three things to help with that as a city council. One is keep the transparency. We want to make sure that we release a report to show where the money is being spent. And also if the money is being spent, is it being useful? Is it being helping? Our residents need to know that progress report of the stormwater utility. Second thing, we have to prioritize. We have to see which is the critical areas, and we have to help those residents to with their stormwater utility problems. And third, we have to prioritize and we have to make sure that if we are collecting money from the citizens, then we are actually providing the support and help they need when the people are having issues in their backyard and flooding. In terms of Bridge neighborhood, I know it's a complex problem. We will address it. Would like to meet HOA people and discuss further and see if we can come to a mutual solution which can help both the city and the Melbourne Bridge. Thank you.
Very interesting question. No, sir. Got that. So my background is in environmental engineering. So it's dear to me. I was put on the task force, stormwater task force by the mayor. So we went back almost a year, looked into in depth, and came back with a suggestion. Two things actually. One, we cannot put a band-aid and fix the backyard erosion problems. So we identified the corridor and we said, okay, let's start addressing from the upstream. So that's what we are doing behind the city hall. The boardwalk at town center. Those two water bodies, we are making sure the bio retention is being fixed. So that way it will slow down the runoff water downstream. Once that is fixed, we will follow the corridor and come back and address the downstream issues, like the backyards. So the second aspect we came back and did is a stormwater grant. That was the suggestion that the task force came back and gave. And we are following that. And this year, it's very successful. We put $422,000 to the stormwater grant, and we will continue to do that for the coming year. So from that, we had 42 applications, and I think 14 or 15 of them getting approved. So it's very successful. And we definitely want to expand that, look into and see what else we can do to address the residents' concerns. Again, it's a matching grant, so we definitely want to provide a helping hand to the residents to make sure we address the stormwater issues. Going back to the other question, I have the time left. So my opponent said to pay off the debt. Come on, we have the interest rate much lower. We are making a lot more money by investing it outside. And we are this year we made $2.8 million on the interest income compared to $200,000 back in 2022. So I would not pay off the debt. I would rather make more money on that one. Thank you.
Don't go away. So, this is a Performing Arts Center question. If the voters pass or reject the PAC bonds, will you honor the wishes of the voting public? Or would you try to stop the public's decision while on City Council?
100% I'll follow the voters' choice. The whole point of it being on the bond referendum and voters to decide is making the wish of the residents. If they come back and say, okay, it's not needed, if it doesn't pass, again, the next project comes into the sequence and we work on that one. So if the voters say it's not approved, 100% I'm not going to support it and we'll move on to the next project. It's not going to be there at all.
Anita, do you need me to repeat?
I believe I got it. First of all, that bond should not even have been referendum. Why did it get there? It is in my opinion, it is an absolutely fiscally irresponsible decision. It should have been not napped out at the council level itself. It should have been rejected at the council level itself. I'm nothing against arts. I'm myself a singer and a performing artist. But do I want to burden 85,000 people for the want of few people? That is so unfair and not required. We have to be fiscally responsible. We cannot keep adding the tax burden on people while making choices like that. Coming to the vote referendum. Well, if people, let's see what people vote for, and I believe is going to